Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Dating Right. Give this man some subs and some likes, guys. Go to his video. Go to his channel. He's creating bangers. I love covering him. I've covered him a lot this week just because his videos are so damn good. So this is women roasting the Oyster lady and the Cheesecake Factory lady. Hey, what do you know? Women are actually siding with men on this. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
You guys remember that video from last week of the lady who refused to get out of the car on the Cheesecake Factory date, and also the lady who went on the date with the man who...
Dude, everybody covered these two stories. These two ladies really showed the world, like literally the world, how entitled women can be. Like, I can't imagine more entitled moments in history than these two moments here.
offered to take her out just for drink, and she went on the date and ordered 4 trays of oysters. I think she ate
48
like 40
oysters.
and the guy ended up walking out on the bill on her.
And everybody was saying that this one's a fake one. I'm not really too sure. They said there was never a man there. She might have just ordered an extra drink and just kind of like filmed it, which is possible. I don't know very many men that be willing to sit there for 4 trays of oysters while she was slurping it down the way she was slurping it down. So I don't know. I don't really care. It still shows the entitlement of her thinking that it's okay to film something like this or to enact something like this, even if it was real or not. So.
And even women themselves are shocked at the level of entitlement that this woman displayed. Let's get into this.
The craziest thing to me about the Cheesecake Factory girl and the 48 Oysters girl is that they're recording these situations. Like, it's a first date. Is that not them on their best behavior?
Like me, ain't never turning down no Cheesecake Factory. Never. I'm never turning down Cheesecake Factory, and I don't hang out with that think they too good for the Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory.
It doesn't even sound like her voice, like this particular clip, or is it just me?
Factory ain't never did nothing wrong to nobody.
I've been to the Cheesecake Factory one time for my birthday in the 10th grade. Like, that was 2010. That shit was high. Like, what the? I got dressed up for that.
What does she mean by that shit was high? Like, high end? Oh, well, she did say she gets dressed up, so I'm guessing she means high end.
That's a date. That's a birthday event. That's a family.
Of course, I've seen the Cheesecake Lady shit. I saw how her ass ain't want to get out the fucking car. But somebody said she overdid the sprinkle shit. And yes, she did. She thought...
Yeah, she did overdo the sprinkle thing. Everybody is just so on that sprinkle lady. Look at the influence this lady has on the mass of women now. So many women feel so entitled to men's money and resources and only want the bag that they'll post these types of ridiculous videos on a first date.
She was giving Shira 7, and she wasn't. If her to sit up like, oh no, this is a chain restaurant. If you don't get your dumb ass out the car and eat the damn cheesecake, it might not be your preferred restaurant, but that's a conversation for another time.
Remember, he did book her preferred restaurant, remember? She was just an hour late, so he couldn't make it to the reservation, so he had to do plan B. Plan B, Cheesecake Factory.
Out the car, go on the date. He seemed like a lovely man. And men...
He was okay.
Not all men. Men don't even want to take us places, right?
No, not really.
They'd rather ask you where you at or what you doing than plan a date. And that man planned a date for her. It might not have been the date she wanted, but she didn't have to act like that.
Ain't no way. I thought the men were the only ones walking around with an insurmountable amount of audacity. But
women, they really think that men have the bigger audacity in the world than women do. But the things that women do is so ridiculous sometimes. I'm not saying men don't do ridiculous shit, but women do it on like a more consistent basis.
But this lady, the audacity of this woman. In case you guys haven't seen this video, let me break it down for you. This is the first date. He pulls up to the Cheesecake Factory. She is displeased when she sees that they're in the Cheesecake Factory parking lot. So when he gets off the vehicle to open her door, she starts recording and she starts shaming him.
It's not that she starts recording. She locks the goddamn door too. Like the man couldn't even open the door and had to like confront her about it.
for bringing her to Cheesecake Factory. And she starts acting like a f***ing child, like who raised you? And basically belittling him. Mind you, he had originally planned to take her to a more upscale restaurant, but they couldn't make it. Why? Because she was an hour late to their proposed time. He went to pick her up. He waited 1 hour in his vehicle for her to finish getting ready. So what? They didn't make the...
And that's the part where I don't feel sorry for the man. Everything else, maybe a little bit, but the motherfucker waited an hour in his car for his first date with her. Fuck that. If someone wants to, like, they're not into you. If they're making you wait an hour, it doesn't matter if she was late to work or whatever, fucking work or whatever it is. Them making you wait an hour in your car, they are not into you. Just walk away. Go somewhere else. Like, that's the part where I have a little bit issue with him. But everything else, he handled himself very well.
The reservation. She has the audacity to behave like this. And she continues to record him and bash him and pretty much behave like she's...
And like, you know, even like in the podcast when she was talking about she wasn't trying to bash him or she wasn't trying to shame him, then what the fuck were you doing? You recorded the man. Like, purposely, and making him look like he's some kind of loser because he took you to Cheesecake Factory. And then he proved you wrong after he was willing to have a discussion.
way above him. And even though she's acting all types of out of pocket, he is still mild-mannered with her.
He is really mild-mannered. I give him that.
Responds to her attacks. I'm just like, the way I would have grabbed this and thrown it out the been like, in my car, you better find a ride, Uber or something, because I'm not doing it. I'm not. Oh, and I'm not even crazy, y'all. How do you go around and treat people like that? And I totally get it that, you know, women are in this era where they're setting higher standards for themselves. That's respectable. However, you don't go treating people like that because you feel you're above something. If that's the case, these type of people deserve to be alone forever and end up with cats.
That's what we say. You know, end up alone with cats.
Because the way she fumbled a good man, clearly by the way that he handled himself, all because you're worried about the fact that he took you to Cheesecake Factory. Girl,
most women don't know what good men are. They've never seen them in their life, majority of the time. And when a good man comes into their life, they're like clueless of what to do with them. So,
wait, take me to Cheesecake Factory. I'm gonna go with you.
I actually want to give a shout out to all the women that I saw in this lady's comment section, just pretty much doing the hard work, because there is a lot of things that men cannot say that we want to say regarding this woman, because a lot of these ladies know it's hard enough out here just trying to get a good man, and you out here making women look bad. Don't even Cheesecake Factory date. It was like, really? And I think a lot of people are still even in disbelief of the arrogance of this woman. And I'm glad this type.
I am and not at the same time. It's like, I've seen it in women, but that is probably one of the highest entitlements I've seen in a very long time, to record everything, to even go on the podcast afterwards and like to say what she was trying to say, to try to like walk things back and cover her ass, because she got destroyed. Posting that video, she got destroyed, like by men, women. Everybody's just like, this crazy hoe is fucking crazy. Like, there's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory. It's like if the man took you like Carl's Jr. or like Jack in the Box or something, you know, no one's gonna feel a way about it. They'll probably agree with you. But Cheesecake Factory is a pretty decent high-end restaurant. Sorry, probably not high-end, but a decent restaurant.
Type of stuff is happening because now women actually get to see what men actually have to deal with in the dating market.
I mean, women see what they have to deal with. It's called the lesbians. This is why their divorce rate is so high. Like 75% is what we saw in the last few videos I did. Their divorce rate is higher than regular couples and in gay couples. Gay couples is like 15%. These motherfuckers don't divorce. Once they're married, they're pretty much locked in. Lesbians, it's like almost guaranteed there's going to be some domestic violence.
Take someone that looks like this to the chain restaurant.
She done lost her mother mind. This can't even be real. If the dating pool had piss in it was a person, first off, he pulled up around 4 p.m. Most fine dining establishments don't even open until 5 p.m. So if he had 4 o'clock reservations, y'all weren't going to a steakhouse anyway.
You're confused. He told to pick her up at 4 p.m. His reservation was at 5 p.m. So slightly confused.
Furthermore, you're not even dressed for a fine dining establishment.
This is true.
You are, however, dressed perfectly fine for the Cheesecake Factory.
I'll agree with that.
Talking about how long it took her to get ready. Should have took a little longer. He was definitely a gentleman, because I know that would have put her out right there and wouldn't have waited on the Uber to get there. She didn't.
Dude, he offered to still take her home afterwards and stuff too. Like, god damn, this guy was too nice. Too nice.
Overdosed on sprinkle.
Yep.
Take somebody that looks that good to the Cheesecake Factory. So what you trying to say about me? Because I would have got my shrimp scampi and my little hen.
Cheesecake Factory girl has now entered the chat. She saw Oyster girl and she was like, "You hold my
She saw Oyster girl. I was like, challenge accepted.
beer." I'm starting to think these videos, they have to be fake. This is just, it's pretty absurd. This is what I would refer to as toxic femininity. We have toxic masculinity and we have toxic...
Now we just have toxic people. There's no need to say toxic femininity or toxic masculinity. It's toxic people doing toxic shit. If a man was doing very similar thing, you would call it toxic masculinity, but it's just toxic people. Stop labeling it towards the sexes. Bad people do bad things.
Toxic femininity. Also, I think toxic femininity is way more prevalent than any toxic masculinity. Do I think a small group of those men exist? I do, but I think nowadays, because of what feminism has done to a lot of us, that this is way more prevalent. And just the amount of disrespect in the video, first and foremost, she's talking into the camera at him.
Yes.
Knowing that she's going to be posting it on social media. That already is sort of dehumanizing to him, just in general. Add on top of that being late, add on top of that the dude, and the dude at that point was like, you know what? You're gonna go home. This is such a conjunction.
He didn't even say, you're gonna go home. I'm gonna take you home. If he would have said, you're going to go home and just left her there and drove off, that would have been better off, in my opinion. But then we wouldn't have had the discussion that they had afterwards, which was pretty good content.
Of online culture, what that has done to us, perpetually being online and living our lives through social media, and awesome modern day feminism. Also, ladies, I don't know if this guy is still single, but he actually seemed like a really nice...
He is still single. This is the other part where I blame him. He went on the podcast, saying that he's still struggling dating and how women view him worse because of this clip. I'm like, what the fuck? How did you not get fucking laid because of this clip? You went fucking viral, putting your standards down, saying that you were going to take a woman on a first date to a high-end restaurant, but she fucked up and you still ended up taking her to a decent restaurant. I think most women would find you a catch. So there has to be something wrong with you, and you're doing something wrong, or you're not accepting these things or receiving everything correctly, because you should have been fucking, like, your DM should have probably been blowing up, in my opinion, after this video. But if it wasn't, and you were still struggling, you need to work on yourself a little bit more, man.
Nice and really chill, dude.
Anyways, she said the reason why she recorded the young man was not to embarrass him, was to spark discussion.
Yeah, see, right? That's like, this is the spark of discussion. That's why you recorded him? Really? I didn't know you discuss things with people by recording them like that.
Many of you interpreted within, interpretations that I saw. I want you to understand that this was never about exposing or embarrassing anyone. The purpose was to spark discussion, to foster learning and growth, right?
Absolutely, we're trying to embarrass.
She's like smiling as if like that was really. You think we're that dumb to think that was the reason why you recorded the man? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Jay, you thought that once you uploaded that video, that women, black women, whoever, were going to come to your defense and say, yeah, girl, I know that's
she
right.
didn't think that.
Either. You was looking too good, girl. Your face was B. Your hair was laid. You had on that good dress. Ain't no way I'd be getting in a car going to no Cheesecake Factory. I wish somebody would take me to Cheesecake Factory.
She's right. That's probably the response that I think she was expecting a lot of women to side with her and be like, yeah, girl, you way too good for the Cheesecake Factory, all this shit, but shit backfired on her.
the restaurant that the man took you to. But what would have been better was, instead of you sparking a discussion between people on social media, is for you to have had a genuine discussion with him in private that had absolutely nothing to do with a bunch of strangers on the internet.
And I did notice that was the reason why a lot of women was upset, that this dude was actually a good beta male simp that, you know, a lot.
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly where I'm at about it. He's a pretty good beta male simp. The provider type that most women are going to want in their 30s, you know, to provide for them and divorce later and take half his shit. He's pretty much that archetype.
A lot of women wish for and want to be with, and no disrespect to him, at least he did in the end stand up for himself. But this is the type of man that a lot of women would love to settle down with, get married, and have a husband. And she pretty much done ruined this guy. Now hopefully this man,
I'm hoping this guy became super red pilled after this,
do not end up getting red pilled behind this.
Can I just say before? Sure. I love the Cheesecake Factory, and it's a place that I've gone to for like every birthday. So like it wasn't just like a random restaurant to me. It was also like a place that I've gone with my family throughout my entire life, and I love it.
Shitting on his like restaurant that his family goes to all the time. Look at her face. That's like he's explaining all this. She's like, "Fuck, I fucked up."
Cheesecake Cat.
So you didn't. So obviously the because you guys were late, she wasn't ready. You weren't able to take her to the restaurant that you wanted to take her to. You figured, I can't go wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yeah.
It's my old birthday restaurant, you know.
It's my lucky.
She'll love it.
And that's the lucky spot too at the perimeter.
You might have to change your lucky spot to a different place now, brother. It's not like Cheesecake Factory anymore.
Lucky spot, okay. Yeah. We'll come back to that. Well, no, I'm kidding with you.
Okay.
Alicia.
Yeah.
So, Jay, you see Jay walking up to you in the bar, say Midtown. He's walking up to you. He's going to talk with you. There are other guys around you. Did you notice those guys probably want to talk to you? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So what made you say, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance? What was it about him?
Well, he was bold enough to come up and talk to me for
confidence,
one.
Okay.
So yes, I definitely
and that's pretty much
attracted
it.
to confidence. He just seemed like he had a pure heart. He was, very thoughtful, engaging.
This is all bullshit. Bullshit answer. Thoughtful, engaging. If you thought all this, you wouldn't have treated him the way you thought you treated him. You did not think all this of him.
Guys, this even had Stephen A. Smith fired up. He usually talk about sports, but now he's talking about more relationship stuff on this channel. And he definitely touched on the arrogance of modern Western women.
The woman records herself dressed up, donning sunglasses, as a date pulls up to the restaurant. The date gets out of the car to open her door. However, her reaction takes an unexpected turn when she realizes that the destination is none other than the Cheesecake Factory, a popular chain restaurant.
Dude, the way he's describing it is like as if fucking a novel and shit.
The woman obviously was unimpressed, okay, with her snobby ass. All right? She was snobby. I'm sorry. It's the truth. You'll see what I'm talking about when I show you the video. She literally says, "He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out of this car." First of all, what the hell is wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? What's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? Ain't nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. That's number one. Number two, not only is there nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, the Cheesecake Factory ain't that damn cheap. You can't go up in there and spend $12.
Yeah, I would assume Cheesecake Factory for two people would be at least $70 to $100, right? I could be wrong. I mean, 2 entrees, appetizer, drinks. If you're doing like a whole dinner thing, I would say close to $100. That's a pretty pricey dinner for a first date.
It costs you to get a meal and stuff like that. You're going to pay over $80 to $100 for dinner at the Cheesecake Factory. So let's throw that out the way because that's important, all right? This girl goes on. She refuses to exit the dude's car and locks the door. This dude is struggling to get back in his own damn car.
Oh, I even forgot about that, right? Because she hit the all lock button. So when he tried to get back into the car, it was locked. So she had to unlock it for him. I totally forgot about that part.
She's visibly upset, finally rolls down her window and confronts her date about their choice of venue. She goes on to express her disdain for a chain restaurant as a first date location and questions why he would take someone who looks like her to such an establishment. Quote, "Look at me. Look at me. I can't."
His face.
Not go into a cheese factory. You see, there are a multitude of ways to keep your ass single, to keep yourself without a man. This is one of them.
a beautiful woman. So I'm expecting to be treated like royalty.
The video, you
This whole getting treated like royalty. What makes you fucking royalty? Like, who the fuck are you to be treated like royalty? And for a normal person to treat you like royalty, are you actually royalty? But you expect such high-end treatment. You're not a queen, you're not a princess. Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
basically told him that, you're not going in there, you know your value.
Yeah.
I really do feel bad for this generation when it comes to dating and looking to find a real traditional wife. Back in the day, dates was all about just getting to know someone. You and that person being excited about getting together just to see if there's a vibe or a connection between you. So if you can decide if you're going to move things forward or not. Nowadays, men are talking about they can't even get to know the woman because the whole date she was on her phone. Or the men are talking about women who go on dates just to record their self just on social media or record their food. It's like we can all see why men are truly checking out of the dating market here in the U.S. and they should. I think guys just need to get their passports and go date women overseas. Now, not all women overseas are going to be traditional, but the majority of women overseas, you will find women that are more appreciative. You will meet women who do appreciate the little things you do to make the date, nice, and long as you put your thought behind it. I think us as men really just need to save ourselves and not even bother with it. Get your passports, go overseas and date. But that's all I got for this video. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about what these women had to say.
That was actually some damn good, Chow. Shout outs to all these women, speaking up. The more women that are willing to speak up about these things, hopefully more women realize their shitty attitude. I don't know, maybe. But it's nice to have these videos to watch. Shout outs to Dating Right, always making great videos. Give him some support, give him some likes, give him some subs. He always gives us great videos and great content to watch and commentate on. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.